Hey, it's Kevin, and today we're going to be doing a comprehensive tour of downtown Appa Valley while we're kind of tracing the history of the growth of the downtown in Appa Valley. So if you're curious to get a look around downtown Appa Valley, or if you're curious about the history of downtown Appa Valley and what used to be where and what's there now, then this might be an interesting video. Right now we are looking at one of the oldest shopping centers in Appa Valley. It's now called Times Square, but this used to be a strip mall, and in fact we can flash back to an earlier picture. In this photo we are probably sitting in the area where you see the Country Kitchen sign, and across the parking lot we are looking at Penny's grocery store on the left of that strip mall. And as you go to the right, there's I think a Casual Corner at General Sports, Snyder Brothers Drugs, and I think out of the picture eventually was a True Value Hardware. And as we look at it in modern days, the building has been extended. But that's what it looked like in probably the mid-'70s. And now we will flash back to now and get to driving around. We'll glance a little to the left. This used to be just an open grassy area. Now they've expanded the shopping area since probably sometime in the 80s. The extension of the strip mall now has Appa Valley Liquors, Von Hansen Meats. And I should mention, kind of right behind us, we are starting with our back to the busiest intersection in Appa Valley, which would be the meeting point of County Road 42 on Highway 77, also known as Cedar Avenue. So we're driving along this old strip mall, now known as Times Square, which was probably given that name when it expanded in the late 80s. Of course, Penny's grocery store no longer there. Kind of taken over now by Warner's Stelling and Advanced Auto Parts. After Penny's, it turned into a Hauser's IGA, but now it's just a bunch of different stuff. As we cross over here to the left, we're going to get a look at the McDonald's in a little bit, but there's a DQ and a Tires Plus that used to be, I'm not sure, I think the Oldsmobile, some type of GM dealership, and we'll get a look at that as we loop around. This is probably the second oldest shopping center right here, where you've got the Halal Market, Kumar's restaurant. Over here, now we've got Westwood Sports, but this also used to be the first location of the Appa Valley Liquor Store. And honestly, I can't remember what used to be over here, but the building still stands with kind of a matching building across the street that now has a Pizza Hut, Appa Valley Diamonds. Come up to 147th Street. We're going to look over to the left. A little strip mall here with Rascal's Restaurant. Used to be Our Berries. Can't remember what it was before that, but that's been like a little restaurant and bar for the longest time. We're going to be heading east on 147th. We have the Cabinet store ahead of us that used to be the post office. Over here we got Famous Dave's, which prior to being Famous Dave's, at some point was Green Street's. Gonna take a right on Glenda. This Bank of America used to be a Clark station, and if you had a kid on a bike, they had a free air pump that you could ride your bike over and use. We would use that a lot to fill up our air on the bicycles. Coming in behind Times Square shopping mall, and we're going to be getting a good look at Cedar Avenue, Highway 77, towards that main intersection of 42. So we've just circled around Times Square where we started before, and kind of that For Lease sign is where we're sitting. Now we're going to go look at where the fast food restaurants used to be and kind of still are. And there's the Perkins flag, the flag at Perkins, right on the corner of, it's like 3 lanes in one direction, 4 lanes in another, two turn lanes. This used to be like a 1-lane versus a 2-lane intersection, 42 and 77. Perkins has been there forever, still there. Got Cane's Chicken, it's the old Burger King, KFC. I believe there used to be Dairy Queen down here too. O'Reilly Auto Parts used to be Champion Auto Parts. That's been an auto parts place forever. And here's the McDonald's. We've got the old style McDonald's building, But originally, when that McDonald's went up in probably the 70s or late 60s, it had like the 70s, late 60s McDonald's style. Now we've got a Taco Bell, Tires Plus, where the car dealership used to be. There's a view of where we started, and now we're going to kind of start expanding around. This is Granada Center. There's another Granada Center thing across the corner. Valley Bike and Ski has been here ever since I've been here when I was a little kid. We're going through the alley to get a look at kind of a classic location. Ace Hardware store, for anybody who remembers this long ago, used to be Apple Rollerway, changed its name to the Big Apple, and this was a roller rink back in the 70s. And I definitely remember coming here, like they had the can skate on Tuesday or Wednesday night. I didn't really come on the weekends because I was in elementary school, but we'd come on a weekday and bring a can and you'd get to roller skate for $1. Classic Apple Valley location, and inside the hardware store they've still got the original floors that you can see, the hardwood floors from the roller rink, which is kind of fun. There's Via Rascal's restaurant, and as we come around the corner, come around the back side of the old Apple Rollerway and getting a look at the side of Ace Hardware. When I was in high school, this was where the Domino's Pizza in Apple Valley was located. And in fact, if I can get in the right spot, looking back this direction, I think I've got a picture of myself, maybe I can find, generally right in that area with my Domino's Pizza uniform on, which is pretty cool. And there's the parking lot, and there we've got Valley Bike and Ski. Across from us, let's not waste our time going in there, but behind these trees is Walmart and the parking lot for Walmart and an adjoining strip mall. So you can barely see it. I guess it was a kind of design choice to kind of hide it, which is fine. But back there we've got now have a Walmart, which probably came in at some point in the 90s, maybe even after that. And we're gonna pull up on Pennock Avenue here, and we're coming to the intersection of Pennock and County Road 42, which we'll be crossing and heading to kind of the next big mall, Apple Valley Square. All right, moving again, heading south on Pennock, across County Road 42. We're gonna pull into the parking lot of what used to be called Apple Valley Square. I'm not sure if it still goes by that name, but this was probably kind of the second shopping center area in Apple Valley, and we are in the corner of the kind of original Apple Valley housing development down here, just south of 42. But over here on the south side of 42, in between Pennock and Cedar Avenue, here's what we have today. We got a Savers, Joann Fabrics, and this end of, actually I should mention this mall, if anybody remembers, used to be an indoor mall. You could walk in and walk around. There were shops on the inside. Now it's just outdoor only, which a lot of old malls have turned to, smaller places like this. But the Savers, I remember being a budget power. This Joann is kind of where you'd walk in to the main mall entrance, and there was an Applebaum's grocery store in there. Big Walgreens right here where the gray and white blocks are. Now we got Original Mattress Factory, Half Price Books. Over here we have a Chipotle that never used to be there, Leanne Chin, and on the other side of that we'd ordinarily in the olden days be looking at the Perkins, but now we've got these buildings here. Hawaii Poke Bowl, used to be TCBY Yogurt. Guess what? We've got a White Castle, which is exciting. That used to be the original Wendy's and eventually Godfather's Pizza. Got a barbershop, Core Power Yoga, Petco. Used to be another mall entrance to the inside of Apple Valley Square, and I kind of remember Apple Valley Square used to be a place where you could, one of the original video rental places, and you would actually go in and rent not only the videos, but you'd rent like the VCR or the Betamax. So here's an interesting location. Experience Fitness. Let's take a little circle around this block. But this was our first big grocery store here where Experience Fitness is. This is where Rainbow Foods used to be, which I know very well because I worked there for a number of years when I was in high school. Now it is a fitness location. It closed, I don't know, a number of years ago, Experience Fitness. Next door, we've got Burlington, which used to be our Kmart, which came in probably in the 1980s. If you lived in Napa Valley, you used to have to drive all the way to Burnsville to go to their Kmart, but then we got our own. Now it's a Burlington, and they added an Aldi food market on the end where nothing used to be before. You can look at the Burlington, you can even see that kind of textured exterior that the Kmart used to have. And we're looking at the backside of the Arby's over here, which has been there as long as I can remember. I used to go there after work at Rainbow. We are going to be heading now back across Highway 77, Cedar Avenue. Crossing Cedar Avenue, Highway 77 on 153rd Street. Coming into a whole other section of downtown retail. If it weren't for those trees, you'd be looking at the Office Max sign. But this is our big Target. Used to be the Target Greatland. Now it's just a big Target. Here's where Walgreens moved. And there's the new Panera. That used to be a Baker's Square. They just tore down the building and put a Baker's Square up. The Wendy's that at some point a long time ago was across the street where the White Castle is now over on this side of the road. Gonna get a look at that Wendy's. On the backside of Mattress Firm. We'll be cruising by this other strip mall. We are now in the southeast corner of 42 and Highway 77. So we'll get a wider perspective of this strip mall. A lot of random little places. Kohl's Salon, Banfield Pet Hospital, GNC, Super World Buffet. Used to be Broadway Pizza, which is great. Haven't been in the World Buffet. Herbert and Gerbert Subs. And we'll get a nice close look at our new huge Target. And I can't believe I say new. This thing was built, I think in the late 80s. I think when I was in high school, this Target was built. So it's not new. But they've updated it. Like I said, I think it was one of the first Target Greatlands. Now it's just, I guess, a Super Target. I don't know. There's so many different kinds of Targets. Alright, getting through the Target parking lot with all their gazillion pedestrian stop signs. Not that that's a bad thing, but it's pretty much all pedestrian crossing here. We got lucky getting through so quick. It is 5 o'clock on a Wednesday. So you'll see we got the Best Buy, Party City, and Office Depot. If we get lucky, we'll get to cross this next intersection where we've got one of our main downtown grocery stores, Cub Foods. All right, here's our big Cub Foods. You can see from here, next door to the Planet Fitness. Chuck and Don's Pet Food, Dick and Rico's Shady Deal Depot going out of business. It says they're losing our lease, which is unfortunate. Kind of a unique store. Dollar Tree, and then Goodwill. And as I pass some of these locations, like, you can almost hear the surprise in my voice, like Dollar Tree. Although I've lived in the South Metro for the majority of my life, and I grew up here since probably 1973 or 1974, it always amazes me that these places that were just fields or nothing before, like, I don't really shop here, so I'm seeing all these locations, and some of these are surprising. Here's the post office that we saw the original location down on 147th Street. And back further in the southeast corner, you're going to see a bunch of hotels, some random retail, townhouses, condos, apartments. And we're going to skip that part, but back in the olden days, in the 70s and before, this whole section of land with the Target, with all these apartments and everything, this was actually Southport Airfield, so airplanes would land and take off. And probably somewhere in that treed area, you could probably find some remnants and gravel from the airplane runway that used to be here. And that kind of went out probably the early 70s, but this area stayed vacant until the mid-80s. Coming up the backside of Apple Valley Apple Ford, and we'll skip that and head back, if we can, to Galaxy. And yeah, it is interesting looking back here. There's still some undeveloped area, considering how much this section of town has grown. And getting a look at some of those apartments and hotels and condos, etc., on the other side of the Culver's Foods. Oh, don't miss the LA Fitness on the corner. This is going to be Galaxy Avenue. Spelled Galaxy with an I-E, and I'm not sure why. We're going to be taking a left and heading north. Alright, heading north on Galaxy Avenue. There's the LA Fitness. Now we got some random strip mall buildings over here. Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Let's take a right on 151st Street. So we're kind of sneaking up the back way south, running parallel to County Road 42 on the south side. Got a U-Haul truck center and self-storage. And we're going to come up now to the more recent developments in Apple Valley. A couple new strip malls, Home Depot, and now we actually have a Kohl's, Sam's Club, and we'll be getting a look at those areas. And we are going to end by getting back to the original area of downtown Apple Valley, which I don't think anyone else would ever call it this, but I might call it the Entertainment District, because we're going to be finding some actual unique restaurants and bars and even a live entertainment venue that's been here since the 70s. So we're pulling into, I'm not sure what I'd call it, the Home Depot shopping center area. So we've got an AutoZone over here, El Azteca restaurant, which is actually very good and yummy, so I'd recommend that. And next to the Home Depot, we get the Discount Tire over here. You'll see the Home Depot. And as we get closer to, I think, Foliage Avenue, Foliage or Fordham, another little strip mall, a couple of strip malls over here. So what do we have? Nothing? Anytime Fitness, Park Dental Apple Valley, Travel Leaders, Edward Jones Investment. So we're coming around this Home Depot, and I believe we're going to be hitting Foliage or Fordham, and we're going to be heading to kind of the newer development in downtown Apple Valley. So the stoplight we're coming up to now is going to be County Road 42, and we're going to be heading now to the northeast quadrant of that main intersection of Highway 77 and 42. And here we've got, I guess, our gas depot over to the right. All right, crossing County Road 42, heading north. We're going to be turning left into, I guess, kind of our newest shopping center area. And we are really right now in the heart almost of downtown. And the reason this area is new and had remained undeveloped for so long is because this was the original location of AVR Apple Valley Readymix. So this is where their sand pit, gravel pit was. And as they extracted all the sand and gravel that they wanted, got a Staples behind us, then they were able to leave this area and sell it, open it up for development. This is the Sam's Club. Let's head into this area. Massive Sam's Club. And over here we've got Kohl's, Bed Bath & Beyond. Let's head up there. Watch out for this guy in the carts. This guy's hauling a lot of carts. Back when I held carts, we didn't have a mechanical device pushing them from behind. We would just line them up and push them ourselves and turn them. Sam's Club. Okay, we've got our Kohl's department store, Bed Bath & Beyond. That's still in business, we'll find out. And let's take a look to the left. We've got a huge parking lot here. Not sure if it ever gets filled up at Christmas time. Into this parking lot for a wider view. And there's another strip mall over there with a Hallmark, famous footwear, etc. So looking back this direction, there we've got the Michaels, Fresh Time Grocery Food Market. And now we're going to get a look at a couple of really, really cool restaurants. I don't recall the guy's name, but this guy's been making really cool and unique restaurants throughout the South Metro for the most part. And he's got two literally sitting across the parking lot from each other. And these two, if you're in Apple Valley, if you live here, or if you're coming to Apple Valley, definitely worth checking out. Here's the first one. Mezcalito Butcher. Great food, great service, excellent craft cocktails. They've got a patio. Highly recommended this place. And this used to be, I think, a Poor Richard's restaurant, I believe was the name of it. And then right across the way is the Farmer and Fishmonger restaurant, owned by the same guy. Different concept, but also great food, great bar, service, craft cocktails, and I should mention both these places have really cool and unique decor. So you go in there, and it's not like you're at an Applebee's or a Chili's. Like, they're very distinct interior spaces, which makes it fun and interesting. These restaurants are related to the Volstead House, Burgers and Bottles. I think Tequila Butcher and Chaska, but he's got a whole string of these restaurants, and they're all really good. Bank building, I guess it's now Cooley Bank, has changed names, and we're going to be heading back to the other section of original downtown Apple Valley as we get across Galaxy and head back in the direction of 77. And we were crossing Galaxy here, hitting that yellow light right next to the police station and the municipal center, which is on our left. We've also got one of the Dakota County courthouses and the library down in that direction. Medical center, and over here we've got Apple Valley Villa, which is kind of a residential and assisted care living facility for seniors. All right, now we're going to get to some old stuff. This Fit Academy Charter School was built as the Apple Valley $2 movie theater, so they had second-run movies, and you'd go there. The place was busy constantly, and you can still get a look of how it's kind of styled as a movie theater. But that was a great place to go back in the 80s, and everybody from town, at least all the kids from school, would be there to watch old movies for $2. This is Bogart's Place, which is the original bar and entertainment venue in Apple Valley. They've got live music, a couple bars in there, and a huge bowling alley. So this place has been here forever, and they still have a stage and live music. And really, it's one of the few places you're gonna see live music in this entire area, really, of Apple Valley, Burnsville, and Eagan. They got sand volleyball courts that they set up in the summertime, so it is a pretty big entertainment venue. And to me, it still kind of has a retro vibe, just kind of the way the bar's put together and the stage. But people go there and listen to live music, and I've been there a couple times. It's kind of fun. It's the end of the season, but there are the remains of the sand volleyball, which they'll be shoveling up and taking away for the winter soon, I'm sure. Got another bank building, office building on the right. And we're going to find some more entertainment venues. So this is the Apple Valley License Center. That small building's been there forever. A lot of people go there to get their licenses and registration. Here's Wild Bill's Saloon. They have a DJ and dancing, which is something that Apple Valley don't have in the olden days. Here's the Wings Financial Building, office building and bank. We're coming up to, we're almost on the corner of 77 and 42, but you can't see it because we've got a hotel in between us. And let's cruise out there and take a peek, because we've got one more entertainment venue to check out, Cowboy Jack's. Popular little place right now. So let's go back through the American Hotel. We've got all these trees blocking our view of the highways, but this is gonna bring us near to where we started the tour, although we're not done yet. But here's Cowboy Jack's, which is, if you're not from the area, that's a chain of bar restaurants that are actually throughout the metro, owned by the After Midnight Group. And as we look to the right, you can see we're in the parking lot of the American. So here's the front of Cowboy Jack's. We'll buzz by. So although this is a chain, it's a local chain, the food is good, popular place. I know certain times they have music and dancing. I've never been to this location. This used to be in Old Chicago, and I'd been there, but I haven't been to the new Cowboy Jack's yet. Getting a good look at the Wings Financial Building, Metro Dental, the strip mall, Rancheros, etc. here's a good view of where we started our day as we near the end, but we're not finished yet. But you can look across 77 and you'll see that for lease sign in the middle of Apple Valley Square where we started. And this is a look at the 5 o'clock traffic headed south through Apple Valley towards Lakeville on 77, coming from Bloomington and downtown Minneapolis. There's more to come. Stay tuned as we get onto this little loop road. Got a Rancheros, Gent Cuts and Grooming, Aspen Dental. This building, Apple Valley Family Dentistry, has been here forever. And I know that because this is where my brother in the 70s had his braces put in. And this building was like one of the original office buildings. Over where Aspen Dental was, should mention Jimmy's Lemon Tree Restaurant, which was like the one fine dining establishment Apple Valley had. And now we're coming into this strip mall parking lot. We've got Five Guys, Buffalo Wild Wings, next to the Flooring Expo. We've got Sushi Noodle Sake? Never been there. Sure, it's great. Kids' hair. FedEx office next to Caribou Coffee. Gonna get a great view of the heart of Apple Valley as we pull through here. So that, again, is Highway 77 north and south. And to end our tour, what a fitting end. Apple Valley Applebee's. No offense to Applebee's, but yeah, we used to have to go to Burnsville to go to Applebee's back when there was nothing anywhere. And now, Apple Valley has their own Applebee's, which is hilarious. And we're looking back at Cedar, 147th Street. And this will bring us to the end of our tour of downtown commercial retail Apple Valley in fall of 2022. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more videos about Minneapolis, Twin Cities, South Metro especially, stay tuned. I got more to come. Other than that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.